All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this.
Right, we're playing my Breaching Mouser deck.
Your what?
I call it Breaching Mouser.
Breaching Mouser. Okay.
Yep.
Any specific reason why you call it that?
3 blind mice.
Oh, gotcha. I like it.
Yeah, 3 blind mice and a few other things.
So you got a pan in the hand.
Breaching Dragonstorm. I actually have a really neat little combo, if I can get it off.
Right. Concert Kaboomist.
Yeah, I threw that one in there because I thought I was going to be using Breaching Dragonstorm a lot more.
Right. The game itself, it all depends on how likely it is that it's going to let you have it or not.
Right.
Unfortunately. Ooh, right off the bat.
All the time. It's usually the first 2 turns I get smacked with something.
Right, and this looks like a blue deck that you're going up against.
Blue-green.
Okay, Beanstalk Giant. I don't know what that does, but... Ooh, Hare Apparent. There we go.
Right.
Okay, so you got Oltec in the hand. The Concert Kaboomist, of course. You got another Oltec and your Hare Apparent.
Yep. I'm playing Oltec first. It's a little bit chunkier. Stays out a little longer.
And I know you got Dollmaker in the hand as well, but don't you need Dollmaker first to be able to have Oltec work, or you can just use Oltec the way it is?
Oltec will work the way it is. If you bring out another creature, it will create a 1/1.
What is it like?
Token creature?
It's like a golem,
gnome,
right?
Yeah,
a gnome.
It's a gnome artifact creature. But
if you have Dollmaker, then you can have it turned into a token, and then you make a copy of that token. Or no, it turns into an artifact, and you make a copy of the artifact.
Partially right.
Okay. Where am I Where do I have the disconnect on that?
So the disconnect here is Oltec has 2 different abilities. The first one allows you to, when you bring out another creature, to create a 1/1 artifact token, or if you have another artifact token on the field, you could target that and make a copy of that.
Okay.
Which is what Dedicated Dollmaker does, is it targets a non-token creature or non-token permanent, and creates, by exiling that card, a copy of the card exiled as an artifact token.
So if you wanted to turn that Hare Apparent into an artifact token, you with the Dollmaker, then you can target Oltec, or use Oltec to target Hare Apparent and just make copies of it.
Yes, and each copy would trigger its ability.
Oh, even better.
Right?
I like that.
So I have a combo that uses Breaching Dragonstorm.
That's why you have that in the deck.
Right. So I use Dedicated Dollmaker after I've played Breaching to turn it into a token artifact enchantment. And then every time I bring out a creature card, Oltec procs, allowing me to copy Breaking, which then just chains back and forth, allowing me to bring out every creature in my deck.
Damn. So what's the benefits of the Panharmonicon?
Activates everything twice. So
if you really wanted to make 2 copies of everything at one time.
Right. So Pan allows anything that is entering the battlefield to have another trigger. If I brought out a creature card, Oltec over there would activate twice. Since I have 2 of them on the field, it would activate 4 times. So imagine me bringing out Dragonstorm and having 8 triggers.
So that's really a giant middle finger hovering over the board.
Right. That it's only if I can get it off, though, because this deck really requires the setup and
it
5
triggers
turns.
in a specific way.
Yes.
Okay.
And at any point in time, somebody can wipe the board and I wouldn't be able to do anything. And here, he basically, I was 1 turn away from pulling off of my stuff.
Okay.
And he pulls out a 48-48 trample. Where have we seen that before?
Oh, I don't know where that's been. I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that was possible with a blue, though. Oh, but it is a green-blue, so...
Yeah, I don't know what the combo was that he used. Didn't understand how this became a 48, but
it's here.
There it is. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, what am I going to do about this? Because I don't have Snare in this deck.
Do you have anything that will exile it while the card is out on the field?
I could potentially use Dedicated Dollmaker, but that doesn't work on tokens.
Oh, damn.
Right. The only thing that I have an answer for it was Snare, and that's not in this deck yet. It was after this game. It was definitely after this game is when
when you said, screw this, I'm bringing something out to help me.
I noticed that I have too many high cost cards.
Okay.
Like, you see, I had 2 Pans, Breaching, Overlord. Too many high costs, not enough mana, so I had to go back and revamp the deck for a second.
Makes sense.
And I was just trying to deal as much damage here as possible, and...
Yeah, that 48 can only stop one thing.
And I thought the Overlord would proc again because of Panharmonicon, but it didn't work like that because it's not a creature yet.
What do you mean by yet?
It came into the battlefield as a enchantment.
Oh, okay. Then
Because
you
I
just use Dollmaker on it. Well, Dollmaker only works one time, and that's when you pull it out onto the field.
Right, but if I have Pan, I could use Dollmaker, make Pan and the Overlord. Overlord hits the field and is not an enchantment because it got played. And then I could attack with it next turn.
Right. But that makes a lot more sense.
But I could trigger its effect early because it hit the field. And because it's now a creature card, I could Pan would have affected it, and I could have won if I had just one more turn. That was all I needed, was one more turn. But he has win con if he full swings.
Just with that 48, he has win con.
Yeah. So,
but you can at least use something to block it because it doesn't have trample.
Yes, it does.
Oh, it does? I didn't see that.
Yes, it does.
Oh, shit.
Matter of fact, all of his cards have trample right now because of an effect he has. Yeah.
Good game. GG's all the way around.
Right. So I already knew it was losing because I only had 2 blockers.
Oh, shit.
But if I had that one extra turn, I potentially could have won.
Potentially, yes.
For a good moment there, I thought he was going to be trying to drag things out.
Do you ever get the feeling of deja vu every time you get into a freaking loading screen going, okay, this could either go good or this could go really bad for me? That's usually my thought process every time I get to this freaking loading screen.
Oh, I always think I'm going to win. And then it's like, oh, I did win. Or, oh. That was learned. That was new.
You sit there and go, oh, that could have gone better.
Yeah.
Like, I know I have a really good deck I built.
So maybe it was this game that showed me that I just had too many high cost cards because I did not actually look at my hand.
Oh, you didn't? You just blindly went.
Yep. Because I can't play anything until turn 4.
You know there is a mulligan button.
Yes.
I know you know. I'm just being a smartass.
And me being an idiot didn't think about it.
I don't think you were being an idiot. I think it was you've done a lot of revamping on this deck. I've seen you go through.
Oh yeah.
I've seen you go through it several times with this one.
Here's the combo with this card. Any card that you bring out after this card hits the field deals 1 damage to your opponent's life points.
Every card?
Every creature card.
Oh, that's cool.
So let's say I play 3 blind mice. That's an automatic damage to your opponent because it brings out a 1/1 creature token.
Oh, I was about to ask. I'm like, I see it says enchantment.
Yes. Well, it brings it out, and bam, one to the face.
Oh my god! So that card with Dragonstorm, can that be something?
Yes.
Oh,
Let's see. Let's wait and see what I pull off here, because this is where I went with the deck at first. And I know he has first strike, so this creature is going to die. My creature, not his. Oh, look, I got another shocking. But because Three Blind Mice doesn't have a token to target, nothing happened.
Oh, okay. Now, let me ask you this. If it card effects, what would you rather go up against? Double strike, first strike, or trample?
Trample.
Why?
Because with trample, you're still dealing damage to your opponent's card. If it doesn't have enough toughness, you can kill it. Yeah, you're going to still take some damage, but you're not going to take the full brunt. However, if they do first strike or double strike, they have the potential to kill your creature before you can do anything to that. And if you have effects like Death Touch, they don't trigger unless you also have the same amount of first strike or double strike.
Okay. No, that's a fair point. I think that's a good way to look at that.
But on the opposite hand, dealing with a first strike or double strike creature could be a lot easier because their power and toughness is generally lower than what a trample creature is.
Yes, that's one thing I was going to bring up is that anytime I've seen a card like that, it's been low damage, low defense.
Right.
So that's why I was saying I would rather deal with something with double strike over having trample.
So
or,
right
first strike.
Right here, I use Dollmaker on Three Blind Mice, which is a combo that a lot of people know about. And Three Blind Mice will propagate itself because it targets a token, which just brings out other creatures.
Oh, and that's where you use the Dollmaker to make a second enchantment, right?
No, I use Dollmaker on the Three Blind Mice to create a token, a artifact token, and because of Three Blind Mice effect on turn 2 and turn 3 when it comes out, it can target itself and other tokens to create a copy of it.
Damn.
So it creates a copy of itself on turn 2, which then starts the whole process over, and because it's already a token, it creates another token.
That sucked that he took that away like that and just used it right off of yours.
Honestly, I don't care in this game because I know I won.
Right.
All I have to do is wait one turn. There's nothing he can bring out unless he wipes my board.
He had 2 1/1s that he could have potentially blocked with and saved himself a little bit of time and did nothing.
But it wouldn't have helped because even if he blocked them, his creatures would have died.
Yeah, next turn you would have just killed him off.
But I played a lot of this deck today.
I definitely see that.
Yeah, I got my ass handed to me like 3 games in a row when I first started.
Oh, that's the thing when you're running through something that is an original build for you, and just in general, you got to go through it, work out the kinks, find where good flow is.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Could you do that again even if you wanted?
Probably not.
Oh, why'd you get rid of the pan?
Because I don't have 4 mana.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Why not just hold on to it and draw into it, though? I mean, that would have been your third right there.
Because I was thinking about making Dedicated Dollmaker into Hare Apparent.
Okay.
Hare Apparent into Dedicated Dollmaker, and then propagating my hares for a while.
Okay.
Waiting until I draw something else like Three Blind Mice.
That's a fair point.
Now I can play 3 Blind Mice and then play Dollmaker next turn.
Okay.
Which will then give me an army of mice.
Fucking perfect. I just didn't know where you went in your thinking about it. That's why I was asking.
It was a high cost card that I didn't need, and I wasn't sure how soon I could get it out. Because if I didn't draw it turn 3 or turn 4, the mana to be able to play it, it just sits in my hand, and nice.
Sucked. But hey, you have another one.
Good thing I wasn't reliant on that.
Right.
So let's go ahead and do this. And get this started. Because
now it's an artifact.
Now it's an artifact enchantment token. And because it's a token, it can copy itself.
That's a hell of a thing.
Yep. So I get a 1/1 just about every turn.
So would you say that Dollmaker can be a very OP card depending on how it's used?
It is a good combo card. I don't think it's a very OP card, but it can be used in OP ways.
I think that's what I meant to say was like it's card effects.
Right.
It can make something very OP.
Right. So here I'm going to do Hare Apparent because it's going to trigger things over and over again. And yeah, we'll swing because if he kills Dollmaker, it doesn't matter. He's already been used.
Yeah, because you can only use it once it comes out onto the field.
Right. Unless I had some other effect to either bounce it, return it to the battlefield from the graveyard, or remove it from the battlefield for the turn and have it reactivate when it shows back up. Oh, look, Pan.
And now you got 4 mana on the field, and it can
and now
use its abilities.
Use it, yep. So when I bring out Pan, Shocking now activates twice when a new creature hits the field. Yeah, I don't want that token dead yet. Just in case.
I've noticed that Hare Apparent decks have slowed down a lot more. They're not as common to see. But how come you're not just taking the time to start building up your Hare army?
Because I have the mice.
Oh, okay. So between the rabbits and the mice, you could sit there and just keep making tokens if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because I'm just going to use this on... Oh, I forgot. I used it on the Hare instead. So I messed up there. I didn't copy itself, and I didn't realize it was already on turn 3. So when it went to turn 4, it gave me the final effect and then killed the card.
Oh, because it's one of those ones.
Right. It kills itself after a while. So I forgot to do something and didn't do it early enough. And that's why I lost the card, but that's okay. I have like 4 of them in the deck.
Okay. Enduring Courage. That's one of the new Tarkir cards, isn't it?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I do know that it's an enchantment creature. When it dies, it comes back out into the field as an enchantment. It has the ability to give creatures that just come out haste and +2, +0.
Nice. So it's an enduring tenacity. In a sense.
For speedy things, yes. If you have a deck that you want to give haste to as you bring creatures out, but don't want haste creatures inherently, that's a good way to do it. The reason why I threw it in there is because I thought Breaching Dragonstorm would allow me to create an army of haste creatures that are boosted when they come out when I needed them, because I needed them to attack all at once.
Okay.
So I have a really good setup here. I've got my Hares, I got Enduring, Oltec, Dedicated, but I don't have any white mana. None.
So you're taking the gamble to see if you're going to be able to get some.
I just need one. Just one to start it off.
Nope, that's not what you needed.
Nope. And I pay the price. It hurts.
Oh, no. Holy crap.
I remember this one. I get screwed.
There's your white mana.
It's a turn too late.
Oh, no.
He has a prowess red deck, which means he uses a spell card. They gain power, and then he swings at me after killing my creature. And it only takes 1 or 2 mana to empower them.
That just sounds so horrible.
It's a speed deck. This one is hit hard, hit quick, and
have a nice night.
Yep. He paid 2 mana, kills my creature, they become 2/2s. That's 6 damage in a single turn by turn 3. Plus, he does it again with a different card. So now it's 9 damage plus the 2 damage from that card, leaving me with...
And you're only on turn 4.
Turn 4, turn 5, I'm dead. Because...
it sucks for sure, but this was a hell of a thing.
He had everything he needed in his hand from the start to take out everything that I played.
Damn. He didn't even let you have any fun.
Right.
That's a good balance right there. 2 white, 2 red. You got your Hare, your Oltec, and your Dragonstorm.
And the funny thing is I can get out the combo a lot because I have 4 cards of it and I just don't draw into it all the time.
Okay.
So I play different strategies with the cards that I have in my hand. Like right now, I know I can't do much of anything with what I have in my hand besides play Hare Apparent or wait until I can play Breaching and hope I draw into Dollmaker, which then hits Breaching and then it combos off of itself for the 2 phases until I can put Oltec out there.
Mm-hmm.
But
and now you're going to be going up against that Vengeful Blood Witch, which in itself, just the way it is, it's not going to do anything, but you can ramp up that card and it can mess you up pretty bad.
Only if you're running like a sacrificing deck where it doesn't matter if your creatures die or not. They come back and it still deals damage.
Oh, that's right, because it has the effects of when something dies.
Or something else
I
dies.
was thinking of something else for Vengeful Blood Witch, so my apologies on that one.
That's all right.
But you got that Nighthawk out there.
I'm not too worried about it.
No, even with that Death Touch and Lifelink?
No, I'm not attacking. The whole point of the deck really is to bring out as many creatures as I can and deal damage through effects.
Oh,
I can throw creatures at them and see what sticks and what doesn't, but I don't need to. At least not right yet.
That's a fair way to look at it.
And then if I get my Breaching Dragonstorm combo off and get out the enchantment creature, they all get haste and +2/+0. And he just destroyed my Hare Apparent because,
with that moment of craving.
Right. It allows me to bring out so many different creatures. I have different effects that happen when they hit the field. I deal damage.
Okay, so here's your Dragonstorm. This is the first time I've seen you play this one.
Right. So it hits the field. I exile cards, find a creature card or enchantment, a non-land card.
Okay, there's your Pan.
Pan, it gets played because it's mana cost is 6 or less. Or no. I got to reread the card, but it's less than a certain amount. And because of that, it gets played for free because you basically paid for it already.
Makes sense.
I'm swinging here just because why not? His vampire's tapped. And he took my thing out. But that's okay. I have Pan out and Oltec. Oltec triggers twice because Pan.
Yeah, you got more than 4 mana on the field. Okay, so you have the concert one and that concert goblin.
Yes, but I can only do that after I've chained Breaching Dragonstorm several times. Because it only works off of however many non-creature spells you've played that turn.
Damn.
Yeah.
So that's why you were saying there's only one way to use it.
In this deck, yes.
If you wanted to just bring it out and use it as a regular card, you could. But
You
that
could,
doesn't
but
do you any good if you can't use the effect.
Right. It would be most effective in a burn or enchantment deck where you just bring out everything as a non-creature and then played that as your last hurrah and deal X amount of damage.
Gotcha.
Which is where I was thinking because I could do Breaching Storm and then bring that out as like my last hurrah.
Okay, so you got your Dollmaker.
Dollmaker comes out, and guess what happens? I have to create a gnome.
Okay. You're going to turn that into an artifact.
Turn that into an artifact. And then I decide to throw this as an artifact too.
Nice. And because that makes sense because you got the pan there. It happens twice.
I thought about doing his panda, but then I was like, nah. So because it entered the battlefield happens, it has 2 effects, and now I can create copies of things. And now I'm chaining back and forth, and this is
where the concert comes in.
This is the combo that I have been wanting to play. This is the combo that played out in my head, and I was like, ooh, I could do this.
Yeah, because I've seen you go through a couple of combos like this. Unfortunately, we didn't get any of those recorded because you were doing a lot of refining with those ones, but those were cool games to watch.
Right.
But now you finally got it dialed into where you like it for the most part.
And every time I create a new token of breaching, and this is why it's called Breaching Mouser, because it brings out a whole bunch of different creatures that are low cost, low damage, but deals damage every time I bring something out.
Hell yeah.
And then different effects pop off. I'm dealing damage. I'm still bringing things out.
But I have a feeling he's going to die before you can even bring out that concert goblin.
Yeah. I don't even touch concert. Not in a single one of my games that I've played, I've ever touched concert. But that's okay. I was working on it.
Yeah, because it seemed like it'd be a cool card to use.
But I didn't need to.
Right.
He has no answer to stop me from chaining these combos because he has nothing to cancel.
Ultimately, there's actually one way that he could stop all this.
No.
Yeah. He could concede.
But that's not stopping it. That's giving me the win.
I know, but I'm just saying that's the only way to stop you from being able to keep clicking the button.
Well,
see,
he ends up conceding anyways because I'm just like dun 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 dun. Bum bum.
Oh man,
yeah. This was the game that was like, finally, I got it recorded.
That's awesome.
I was expecting to do that earlier, but
hey, better late than never.